Welcome to the Daily Journal's web series, Real Talk. I'm Pamela Powell, film critic for the Daily Journal. Each week, a different guest and I will be reviewing and recommending or not a newly released film. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for the real talk of today's movie, which is Avengers: Age of Ultron. And yes, I must say it that way because it is a comic book series, and I have to say that I'm a little bit inundated with superhero movies. I wasn't too terribly excited about seeing this movie because we've got Avengers, we've got Revenge of the Avengers, I don't know, we've got Batman, Superman, Superman Returns, Batman Returns, Forever Batman. I couldn't even tell you all the different superhero movies that are out there, X-Men, and the list just goes on. And to be honest with you, everything just kind of blends together, and I really am not sure which film is which. However, that being said, I was actually pleasantly surprised by this movie if they could have cut maybe the last 30 to 40 minutes of the film. But before I go on any further with that, I would like to introduce my guest today, Carl Maronich. Thanks, Carl, for joining us today.
Delighted to be here.
Now, are you a comic book genre fan?
Historically not.
Okay.
I did not see the first Avengers. I did see the Tony Stark Iron Man.
Right.
One, of
one
those
2,
films.
and 3?
Yeah, I just saw one and didn't hate it.
Okay.
So I read comic books as a kid, but I just never really made the transition to the comic book film genre as a big fan.
Okay.
So, but I was interested in seeing this, so I'm glad you asked me to do that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you going to see that. And tell me, did you enjoy the film? What are your overall impressions of the film?
I would say yes, I did enjoy it. This film does not, there's no opening credits. It jumps right into the action.
Right.
So you know what you're in, you know the ride that you're in for from the start. And it was exciting. It was well done. I thought the graphics, the effects were all very well done. Not seeing a lot of these movies, I haven't seen one in a while, and they've certainly upgraded the graphics, what they're able to do.
Right.
And it's really pretty amazing. But I did enjoy the film.
Okay, now I have to interject a little bit there about the special effects. I felt like in the very beginning, it was almost like there was a green screen there, and they were just superimposing all the actions on top of the green screen. And then all of a sudden they went to another action part that I'm sure was CGI, and some sort of special effects interjected in there, and it was spectacular. So I felt like it really waxed and waned between being awesome and impressive to, ooh, who was doing this? Was that the interns that were doing that? No offense to interns out there.
Well, interesting though, because the early part of the film, the first scenes were in what almost looked like the Captain America, and I didn't see that movie, I guess I'm remembering that, which was set in World War II era.
Okay.
And the first action scenes were in the castle that had kind of a look,
right,
a throwback look to it, so maybe that had some impact on what you were seeing in terms of the special effects. Interesting in that part as well, I thought, was the main bad guy had a monocle, which seemed like a throwback to kind of old type bad guys,
yeah.
but it was an updated kind of high-tech monocle.
Right.
So that was kind of interesting. But I thought along the way all the special effects looked really strong.
How about the comedy? I felt the comedy was really strong, and I do attribute that to Joss Whedon's ability to convey humor throughout. It wasn't just in the beginning of the film, but it was throughout the film, the one-liners. And the timing of, okay, yes, I do love to watch Chris Hemsworth, who doesn't, but he actually delivered these really funny lines quite well. Yeah. And then Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, as Tony Stark, he's always kind of got that smart aleck vibe to him. But I thought the humor worked very well. They sprinkled it in good amounts. I think it really helped to humanize the superheroes as they used a lot of that humor in different ways. I thought one especially interesting way was they were all trying to pick up Thor's hammer. And that, you know,
right, the Excalibur of it.
Yeah. They were having fun with that, and that was kind of interesting and fun to see.
That's right. That was probably one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie. Yeah. And I do love, too, with the humor aspect of it, is the fact that they interjected lines and pieces of their former films of playing superheroes. Yeah. And that was quite creative, yeah, and entertaining.
It worked well.
The only part that I really had issue with is the length. It was 2 hours and 21 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And they really could have cut out the last half half hour, 40 minutes. I felt like they had this bag of tricks of special effects, and oh my goodness, it's still half full. We still need to use some more of these.
There were a few battles they probably could have done without. The one, though, there was one point in the middle that there was just so much going on screen with the battles, and that you lost track of what was going on and what superpower went to which person because there was so much happening.
Right.
It was just kind of special effects overload. Other than that, I think by and large it all seemed to work pretty well, and I didn't feel too uncomfortable at the end. In terms of time, I thought it didn't seem that long to me.
All right, very good. So would you recommend stay or go home for this
I would
film?
recommend go have a good time at the theater and see it, enjoy it. It's not it doesn't take a lot of thought, but it is kind of sit back and enjoy. I did not see, I will say, the 3D version, so
I did not either.
and that was fine. I didn't feel I needed that.
Right.
So I would definitely say see it.
All right, very good. And I would say see it too, and especially if you gals out there, if your significant other is dragging you to go see this movie, it's probably because you dragged him to go see a Nicholas Sparks movie. So it's all even that way. All right, thank you very much, Carl, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And that's a wrap. Now don't forget, we've got a bet. For you
Okay.
and for me. You might want to stand up for this.
Okay, I can stand.
Okay, on your mark,
This is one of my superpowers, so that's all right.
get set, go.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, you got one. I've missed 2. 3. Oh, got it.
Gotta throw higher. There we go.
I keep hitting my teeth.
I'm so hungry, I don't dare miss them. All right, this is good.
And how do you get?
I lost count.
Oh, you won.